You ever wake up one morning and just know today's the day you snap? That was me, standing barefoot in the mud by my own creek pool, staring at a soup of busted balloons, plastic ribbons, and chunks of confetti floating like some twisted party gone wrong. And I knew who did it. It was Karen, HOA president, queen of fake smiles and real threats. And that was the day she went too far. Our property backs up to a natural creek, and years ago, I'd turned a bend of it into a peaceful little pool. It's not fancy, just rocks, flowing water, some smooth landscaping, but it's mine. My wife and I spent summers there, cold beers in hand, toes in the water, no phones. My son proposed to his girlfriend beside it last fall. It's ours. That matters when you live under the thumb of an HOA that thinks your lawn is a crime scene if your grass hits 3.1 inches. Karen moved in 2 years ago, and from day one, she hated that I had something she couldn't control. Community resources should be shared, she said once, glaring over the fence. But it's not a community resource. It's on my land, deeded, surveyed, titled, and taxed. But that didn't stop her from finding ways to harass me. She once sent a letter accusing me of weaponized tranquility because her dog got startled by the sound of running water during one of her mindful walks. I knew something was up a few days before the balloon incident. First, I caught her snooping down by the fence line with some guy in a polo shirt, probably another HOA crony. She didn't wave, just scribbled in a notebook and walked off like she was mapping a battlefield. Then came the drone. I kid you not, some little whirring thing hovering over my backyard for hours. I knocked it out of the air with a rake. Karen claimed it was part of the HOA beautification initiative. I told her if it came back, I'd beautify it with a shotgun. Then, last Saturday morning, I walked out to the creek and saw the massacre. Dozens, maybe hundreds soft popped balloons, still slimy from whatever liquid had been inside them, tangled in cattails and reeds, coating the surface of my pool. Pink, blue, yellow, every color just plastered to my rocks like someone had thrown a toddler's birthday party off a moving truck. I stood there, fists clenched, and heard her voice drifting over the fence. "Oh, was that today? Sorry. We had a gender reveal. The wind must have carried them. That was no accident." She stood there, sipping her oat milk latte, wearing some smug live, laugh, love hoodie, and had the nerve to act like it was cute, like it was harmless. I reported it, of course, to the HOA board, which she chairs. Big surprise, they reviewed the situation and found no violations. That's when I met Hank. Hank's this wiry old guy with sun-leathered skin, retired Army Corps of Engineers. He lives 3 houses down and mostly keeps to himself until he saw me out front, hosing down buckets of trash from the creek, muttering swear words that would have made my late mother slap my teeth straight. He walked up slow, lit a cigarette, and said, "That woman's been trying to run the whole damn street. She dumped her party trash in your creek, huh?" I nodded. He spit on the curb. "Tom, someone taught her what real enforcement looks like." Turns out Hank's a walking legal encyclopedia on land rights and environmental ordinances. He showed me a dusty binder full of county regs. And no kidding, there's a rule about artificial pollutants in waterways, even on private land, especially if they flow into a natural ecosystem. Guess what qualifies? Latex balloons and dye powder. Armed with that, I started quietly documenting. I installed motion sensors by the creek, cameras disguised in birdhouses, and I started saving every HOA letter, voicemail, and text. Then came her counterattack. Karen filed a formal complaint that I was manipulating water features for intimidation. What does that even mean? I guess in her mind, me cleaning my own creek became some kind of psychological warfare. She even tried to get the board to fine me for aggressive landscaping. They voted unanimously in her favor, of course except for one guy, Mark, who texted me afterward and said, "Sorry, man, she threatened to cite me for a fence infraction if I didn't vote her way." So I got quiet. I played nice. Let her think she won. Then I made slime. And I don't mean a little kitty bucket. I'm talking about 200 gallons of thick, green, non-toxic slime made from cornstarch, food dye, and a biodegradable thickener Hank helped me order in bulk. We rigged a safe, clean recirculating pump system and filled the entire creek pool with it bright green and shiny like a Nickelodeon set from 1997. The next day, Karen walked by with her little HOA advisory circle and just froze. You should have seen her face. What is that? Oh, I said, sipping my coffee, just part of my new water feature. Decorative. Therapeutic. To beautify the area. She lost it. Claimed I was violating aesthetic standards and creating an unsafe environment for community morale. I told her I'd file my project under the HOA's own beautification bylaw same section she used to approve those awful concrete lawn gnomes. But the real kicker? I'd already sent pictures of her balloon trash, time-stamped and geotagged, to the county environmental office. With Hank's help, we filed a formal complaint. Turns out the creek pool does connect to a protected watershed downstream barely, but enough. The inspection team came out within 48 hours. I played them audio clips from Karen's own HOA Zoom calls where she joked about letting the balloons fly and blaming the breeze. They didn't laugh. Karen got hit with a $5,000 environmental fine. $5,000. And the HOA, they were ordered to fund a community cleanup effort and review internal leadership structures. She tried to blame me for entrapment. Didn't work. When the board finally held a vote of no confidence mark, the fence guy led the charge. Karen was removed as president the next week. Now, my creek pool is back to clear water and smooth stones. Hank and I added a little bench down by the edge, and sometimes we sit out there with beers, just watching the light dance across the surface. No balloons, no drones, just peace. Sometimes I wonder what is it about people like Karen that makes them think power equals ownership, that rules only apply to others? Anyway, the slime's long gone now, but I kept one jar of it in a mason jar on my porch shelf. A little reminder. Sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it's just slow, sticky, and inevitable. So let me ask you this. If someone like Karen dumped garbage into your piece, would you let it slide, or would you drown it in green slime and let the law do the rest? Thanks for hearing me out. And hey, if you've ever had to take on your own HOA monster, tell me how it went. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got stories you won't believe coming next.